Hello, YouTube. I've got some news for you. It might not be good, but someone has to tell you. Okay. The story is, man, I walked on the moon. It's not true. It's a little story like the Easter Bunny and like the Santa Claus. It's not real. Your mommy just tell you that to make you feel good, to make you feel like you have a purpose in life, to worship the man. And that's pretty much what your whole life is all about, worshiping the man. Your mommy, she tell you about the man on the moon, and to get a good job, and do whatever the man says, and, keep the brother down. So, it's just a story. And you have to use your own head and realize if you really believe that the man will walk on the moon, just think about it. Do they actually think they can make a little rocket ship and put some men in it and fly up to the moon and land and jump out a little moon rover car and drive around and go beep beep, yay, we're having fun, let's play some golf. Oh, look, we Easter Bunny jumping around. Ooh, let's jump back into this spaceship. Oh, let's fly back. Oh, we'll land in the ocean. Oh, yay, Ray, have a parade for us. It's not real. They couldn't even do the same thing to land a rocket ship out in the desert and jump out a little car and drive around and then fly back. It cannot be done. You know this in your heart. Do not get upset and cry and kick the computer and smash the keyboard. It's just a story. It's like all the other little stories. So, we did not land on the moon. As a matter of fact, man cannot even go to the Van Allen belt. You're screaming at me. You look, no spacecraft has ever gone into the Van Allen belt. Everyone dies. They can't have real stories and tell you the truth. Oh, we sent a dog up and the dog died. Oh, yeah, hooray. They can't because people go crazy. Those Peter guys, I'm more scared of Peter guys than anybody. So, just so you know, it's all fake. Come hit me back. Leave a video response. Leave me some science.
Especially when you look at the technology that's being used there, like we noted, the lunar module itself looks like something a bunch of kids built. It literally looks like someone just stapled up like cardboard to the side of the thing, and it's got all this foil on there.
Yeah, the walls of the thing are like made of Mylar or something. It's like a couple mils thick or something. They actually said they had to be careful when they were working on it because if they dropped the tool, it would go right through the bottom of the.
Yeah, and this is supposed to.
And yet this is sent out into the vacuum of space where all it would take was a pinhole and you're instantly dead.
Yeah, and of course
you travel for 10 days or what. You travel around in this thing where one misplaced elbow means like instant death. Or one meteoroid or one anything. It's just. Yeah, the whole thing is just absurd, and you mentioned being untested, and in fact, one of the most amazing things that I discovered was that the liftoff engine for the lunar module, the engine that supposedly took them off the moon, not only were never tested, they were never even fired up because the fuel was so corrosive that they could only be burned once, and then they were no good anymore. The whole engine had to be rebuilt. So they built these things in the factory without even, supposedly just build them, install them, without even test firing them, and send them up on the assumption that they were going to fire up the first time and get them off the moon. Who is going to do that? That's just insane to even think that they would have actually done that, and then to have them work flawlessly every single time. Now we can't even build a space shuttle that they can launch without blowing it up. But, back then we could send untested engines to the moon and they'd fire it up first time every time,
And as you pointed out, too, apparently back then they had they had muscle spaceships.
Yeah, we got there a lot faster then, too. Yeah, now they're saying it's going to take a lot longer to... the arrogance of faking it is just mind-boggling, they must have, presumably they must have thought at the time, well, at some point in the future we're actually going to be able to do this, so we'll just make it as accurate as possible based on what we know now, and, it'll fit in later or whatever, now here we are, 50, 40 some years later, and nobody's ever come close to duplicating it, and if they ever do, it's going to be so completely different, every aspect of the mission is going to be just so completely different than the way. That's one reason that even if we had the technological capability to actually do it now, I don't know that they would want to because it would be so far removed, in any film they shot there or any pictures or, everything would be so completely different than what was previously sold, to the American people that they almost really can't do it again. Even if we had the technology, which we don't, I don't know that they could ever do it again, or maybe with enough passage of time that people forget or something and You know, I don't know. You know, how long can you sell that story? That's one of the things I point out. You know, what if another 50 years go by and we, you know, I mean, after 100 years, are people, are then they going to wake up? Or are they going to look back and go, how the hell did we do that back then? You know, with
I know,
the technology we have.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, our advanced technology
that story
today.
has a certain shelf life that it can't live on forever without ever being duplicated. You know. So it was a pretty arrogant move to fake it, and at some point you would think it's going to come back and bite them in the butt, but you know, who knows? They have the ability to sell almost anything to the American people these days, it seems. So, well, maybe this will finally be the straw that broke the camel's back, because there's no way anybody's going to believe this, but they do.